According to legend, children who are buried in a nearby cemetery come to this park to play. In 2007, the Huntsville authorities tried to demolish the playground to expand the territory of the adjacent Maple Hills Cemetery. However, this story received a public response, and residents defended the site. New equipment for children's games was even installed on it. The children of local residents could still come and play here. However, many locals familiar with the urban legend of Huntsville will confidently say that not all the children who play here are alive. This legend has become widespread among the locals for a reason. The fact is that there is an increased pair of normal activity in this place. Children playing, shouting at each other, mothers calling their children, playful running of kids, all this was seen on the playground more than once at night. It is believed that the most active period of time when ghosts appear is from 22 to 3 p.m. It is at this time that the children from the cemetery join the living children, and they can play together. Maple Hills Cemetery is Huntsville's largest cemetery. It has produced more than 80,000 burials. The first land, which was much smaller than the cemetery grounds today, was sold to the city by planter Leroy Pope in 1822. Although this is an official date, it is known that this land was used for a cemetery even before the sale to the city, since the oldest grave of baby Mary Frances Atwood dates back to 1820. Later, the cemetery expanded, taking over the territory of the Pope family cemetery. Now in the cemetery you can find many graves belonging to Confederate and Union soldiers who died during the Civil War of 1861 to 1865. The cemetery grew and the city of Huntsville grew with it. In 1901, the cemetery received its official name. Before that, the locals simply called this place burial ground. In addition to the creepy legend about children coming here to play from the cemetery, there is another creepy story about this place. Between 1945 and 1955, there was a limestone quarry on the site where the playground is now located. The high mounds that now surround the site were not the result of natural processes. They were formed during the development of the quarry. When the quarry was closed and abandoned, it was overgrown with grass and shrubs. Soon, as the years passed, this area turned into a real dense shrub, with weeds and trees. In the early 1960s, an unknown criminal used these thickets to commit terrible crimes. A wave of disappearing children swept through Huntsville. And none of the children were ever found. Soon rumors spread around the city about a maniac preying on children. These rumors were soon confirmed when a small skull was found in an abandoned quarry. After the investigation, several more skeletons and several small corpses were found in more recent graves. The killer was never found, but it was discovered that he did not just kill children, but tortured them for a long time before death, as wounds and signs of exhaustion of the body were found on more recent corpses. After the discovery of the bodies, the killings stopped. Gradually, the murders of children were forgotten and the fear that covered the city receded. The remains of the found children were buried in the Maple Hills Cemetery. In 1985, 20 years after those terrible events, the quarry and the surrounding land were turned into Maple Hills Park, and a playground was built. Today, the park and playground are well taken care of. But even if you don't know all these stories and legends, the park itself is a pretty creepy place. Although it is located very close to the city, the natural rocky hills, tall trees and other natural features give you the feeling that you are in the desert. It's eerily quiet here, and as soon as night begins, this place becomes completely different. Come to the playground at 10 p.m. Maybe you will be lucky enough to see how the swing moves, as if someone is swinging on it, and hear the ghostly cries of mothers calling their dead children.